that you love the most unlovable part of me. Oh, of me. Now can't you see? Your love was the only thing that I ever need. Come on. Come on. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Oh, 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 hold on. He saved the day. He will come through. He won't always stop what superheroes do. Come on. No greater love makes my heart beat. All I wanna do is make you proud of me. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. Oh, oh. Everything of my secrets that you keep. Oh, you cover me. Happy Friday, y'all. Listen, I've been in such a crazy mood, and I just been like, you know what? I'm gonna dance my way about this thing. No, but seriously, y'all, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Glow Up Is, where we grow to glow. Where God shows up, right? Where we take the mask off, we get uncomfortable, right? We're not perfect people, we're very imperfect people. We don't have no problems with opening up, sharing, right? And knowing that we're not an island by ourselves, like we need people in order to see ourselves, right? And I'm always talking to y'all, right? Because y'all, I promise you, when I'm talking to y'all, I talk to me too, right? And that's what the Glow Up is about. It's about encouraging people. It's about giving people hope, right? Making people realize that it's not just you, right? Life is happening for all of us. But even though life is happening for all of us, right? We still got to grow through it, right? We got to seek every single opportunity to take the time to grow through it and to go through it, right? And at the end of the day, we want that glow. We want the light to shine, right? We want what's in the inside to match the outside, okay? We can't be all ugly and all of that mess and all of that craziness that's going on inside of us, right? We cannot allow that to be out here on our on our outer appearance, right? We want everything to match. And so I thought it was very fitting for us to have that song, okay? Because I just thought about that thing. I was like, Lord, you keep every secret. Like, God, you just love me, right? Freely. And I get to love you back freely. So I'm always honored and blessed to be able to give God my love, my time, and just being able to just be exactly who he created me to be. And that's exactly what we do, right? We are exactly who he wants us to be. But y'all, happy Friday. That means that if you are watching this, that means that God has really put you in the right spot tonight, honey, because we're gonna be talking. Y'all, we're gonna be talking. God has really been really showing up for me in a lot of ways this week, even in the silence. He's definitely been speaking clearly. And last week we talked about staying rooted, right? Staying rooted in God. This week we're talking about the seasons change, right? Because the seasons do change. The seasons change, but God does not change. And I think it's a beautiful thing, right? When we come to the realization that God has something great for us. But I think that it's also something beautiful about realizing that the trials and the tribulations, even though they may come, they are only temporary. They only last just for a little while. And I know sometimes it may seem like this is a long chapter. Lord, this can't be just be an excerpt. This can't just be a synopsis, Lord. This cannot just be, right? Just this one chapter or 3 or 4 pages, right, of my life, of the book of my life. It's no way. I feel like I'm in a season, right, of pressing. I feel like I'm in a season of stretching. I feel like I'm in a season of, God, where are you? Right? God, I don't know if I even hear your voice. Sometimes I may even be so far away, Lord, that I don't even know where I'm going at this point, Lord, right? Maybe this is my lost season. I don't know, right? But at the end of the day, what I want to remind you on today and remind myself on today, okay, is that even though the seasons change, okay, God does not. God is still the same God that he was with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Joseph, and Sarah, right, and Rachel, right, and Esau, and Ruth, right, and listen, Jeremiah, Solomon. God is still the same God. His formula doesn't change. Like, he moves in different ways, but he is still the same God and he reigns forever, y'all. And this is my reminder on today, because listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I almost got stuck in my season. And God had to remind me, because y'all, I told y'all I've been in the book of Ecclesiastes, right? I've been in the book of Ecclesiastes, I've been in the book of Proverbs, and God has really been dealing with me with seasons. And he's been telling me that to everything there is a season and a time and a purpose under the heaven of God, right? Go back into Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, and check that out, because that thing hit me real heavy. Because next thing I know, he started talking about it's a time for every single thing that we go through, every single trial and tribulation that you go through, right? It's a time to cry. It's a time to be happy. It's a time to be born. It's a time to die. It's a time to have all of these things. So eventually, okay, this is a reminder that that is temporary, that the season is going to change, okay? That is going to change for the better. And sometimes it may change for the worse, okay? But God remains the same. And because God remains the same, right, throughout all of it, there is hope even in the middle of it. There's hope even in the midst of the season. Y'all, this thing hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, Lord, thank you, Lord. Because even in this week, man, God had been uncturing me to even send text messages to people. And so it was funny, because I was like, man, I said, I got to cater this to this group, and I'm going to cater it to this, and I'm going to cater it to that, right? And I'm going to make sure I send it out to the people who need to see it. So I had sent it out to the people who needed to see it. And I was talking about the seasons may change, right? But God is still faithful. God still remains, right? Because we need to be so pressed on God that we even forget about the season that we're in. Did you just hear what I just said? We need to be so pressed on God that we need to realize, right, that we're not even in a season. Because the thing is that, y'all, when we focus on God, and this is that same thing last week, staying rooted in God, if we got allow God to have our mind, why can't we allow him to have the season as well? Why can't we allow him to be present in our season? Why can't we allow God, right, to have his way in our lives? And I'm talking about the good seasons, the bad seasons, the seasons where you just feel like ain't nothing happening at all. It don't even look like this is a fruitful season. God, I don't know whether this is my barren season. I don't know what's happening with this, Lord. This is my silent season, Lord. I don't know what season this is, but whatever season it is, Lord, help me to be intentional with you in the middle of my mess. Even in the middle of me prospering, even in the middle of me being fruitful and multiplying, right? Even me, Lord, taking the seeds that you've given me, God, help me to be able to have a harvest, right? And help me, Lord, to be able to give it right back to you. This is what God wants us to do, even in the season. So the seasons change, right? The seasons change. We got a season that changes all. We got seasons that change all the time, right? Like right now we're in spring, but I feel like even though it's springtime, I feel like it's summertime, but then I feel like it's winter too. And it's crazy because I'm like, wait a minute, we're in May. It's no way that we should be below 50 degrees in May. Okay? But this is a natural season, right? Things have to change. Like you begin to see the birds coming, right? There will be signs that the seasons are changing. I don't know who I'm talking to on today, but listen, I'm talking to myself and they ain't talking to nobody else. I am constantly reminded that it won't always be like this, that it won't always look like this. Did you just hear what I just said? Because there is a season that is waiting for each and every single one of us. And we have to be very intentional with the one who remains consistent and constant throughout the seasons. We can't allow our feelings, okay? Remember, I told y'all this, you got to stay rooted, right? We cannot allow our feelings, right, and what we feel in this season to mess us up, right? And not allow it to prepare us for our next season. Because if we just get so caught up, y'all, we just get so caught up in the season. Because I'm going to tell you something. Some seasons come and those seasons hurt. Yeah, it's a season of hurt. It's a season of pain. But it won't always be like this. This is what he tells us, right? In the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. I told you, go and read it. Listen, he says, to everything there is a season and a time and a purpose under the heaven. This is what I'm trying to tell you, is that it's still working for our good, even though your season may be a season of no fruit. You just feel like you just been sowing all the seeds. You've been doing every single thing that it is that you need to do. And you've been out here listening to what thus said the Lord. Okay? Because Toya listened to too. I listen to him too. Right? But sometimes, y'all, we pick and choose when we want to listen to God. Oh, you want to hear my voice today. This is me and God. This is how me and God's conversation go. Listen, I don't know how your relationship is with the Lord, but my relationship is like this. God gonna straight up tell me, I can hear his voice. I can hear his voice. And it's almost like, Toya, stop. And I'm like, God, you sure you want me to stop? And I know that he's telling me to stop because he sees something ahead of me, right? Because sometimes in this life, right, we jump ahead of God because we want the harvest right then and there. We want the promises right then and there. What makes you think that God forgot about you? What makes you think that he don't want you to go through this season of silence? What makes you think that he don't want you to go through, right, in order to get to? Because he knows that if you go through this, you're going to appreciate it more. And you don't know why you dealing with that same annoying coworker, Toya. You don't know why you dealing with that same annoying coworker, but honey, it's a reason why you dealing with her, because I got a person on the other side, okay, who's similar to that you're going to come into contact with in another season. And what I cannot have you doing is wavering. I can't have you in your feelings, Toya, right? I don't know if I'm talking to you, but listen, I'm talking to myself right now, okay? This is a real thing, because sometimes, y'all, we don't even realize why we have people that come across our path, because God is preparing you, right? And to use what it is that you have, because you're the answer to someone's problem in that season. But we say, woe is me. I'm feeling all different types of things. And y'all, I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it too. Listen, I will sit here and say, Lord, why me? I asked God, why me? And he said, why not you? Listen, I went through it. I know what it's like to go around and walk in that flesh. I know what that feels like. I got angry too. I cried too. So cry if you need to. You cry if you need to. This may be your crying season. Listen, this may be your rebuke season. I don't know, but listen, I've been in those type of seasons too. But I'm thankful for it, because what I know is that it's serving a purpose. I may not be able to understand why it's happening, right? I may not be able to have all the answers, but I'm going to tell you something. When I get through it, and I'm always seeing signs, man, that this season is almost over. This season is almost over. Lord, here come the new season. And I get excited about it because I see signs and I see how he bring people around me to literally just say, oh gosh, Toya, look at you, girl. You just glowing. And that's just like, oh, okay. You know, I'm glowing. I'm trying to make sure that I look the best that I can, right? I'm trying to make sure I look the best that I can, because I'm trying to take care of what the temple that God gave me. But sometimes, y'all, I be wanting ice cream. You hear what I'm saying? Y'all ain't hearing me. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Listen, we got to be intentional in our season. Because guess what? The season's going to change. It got to change. It has to change. The seasons have to change. Because he said to everything there's a season. You think the animals are exempt too? Why you think the birds go away in the wintertime? Now they back in full force. The bugs leave, the ants and everything. They leave. You don't see them during the wintertime. I don't see them during the wintertime. Summertime, I began to see them. And y'all, listen, I'm so proud of my lawn, y'all. Listen, so your girl got her house. I've been in the house now 2 years, right? The Lord has blessed me to be able to be in Charlotte 2 years now. So it'll be 3 years later on this year. It'll be 3 years. 3 years, but it's 2 right now. So I'm thankful for that, right? And I'm like, Lord, you gave me this house. So I need to take care of this because I want more, right? I want more in my next season. And God is like, how you want more in your next season, but you're not taking care of the things that I need you to take care of in the current season. I said, ouch. Lord, that hurt. Okay, you know what? You might be onto something with that. And I'm like, Lord, but I am taking care of the house and the inside. He said, yeah, you're taking care of the inside, but you ain't taking care of the outside. Why your lawn look like it's pale and brown outside? Okay. Where's your lawn care people? Y'all, this thing hit me in my shine now, okay? So I said, well, darn. I said, God, maybe I'm not taking care of the lawn stuff because I'm not a lawn person, right? I've never been a person that's interested in dirt and getting my hands dirty and all of that. I get my hands dirty in other things, but I ain't got time to get my hands dirty with actual dirt. I'm too bougie for that. I'm too good for that. That's the way it is. I feel like that's a man's job, not a woman's job, and that's okay. I'm not here. Listen, we listen and we don't judge. Listen, I don't do that. I pay somebody to do that, right? So then I'm like, okay, let me see who I can pay, right? To make sure that my yard gets all of the things that it needs to get. So they like, what kind of grass you got? And I'm sitting here like, I don't know what kind of grass I got. Can you come and look at it? And maybe you can tell me what kind of grass I got. So I began to look at it online, right? Because I'm like, you know what? Chat GPT got all the answers. Got all the answers. So I began to be intentional, right, with my yard. Because last year I ain't take it seriously, but this year I began to really take it seriously. Okay. Because I'm like, you know what? I want my grass to be green. I got to take care of my grass, right? And so, y'all, listen, your girl had weeds and everything all up inside that yard last year, okay? All the weeds that you could believe, okay? HOA was like, listen, I'm gonna need you to fix this because it's no way that your yard is the only yard that has little weeds in it. And I'm like, Lord, why they keep bothering me with these weeds? Okay. Why is it even that serious? Right. And I felt like they was picking on me. And they even put in the email. This was the crazy thing. I said, oh, now they're playing in my face. Because here they go put in the email, they're gonna say, we're not picking on you. You may feel like this email is intentionally, right? Like we're picking on you. However, we are not. And we're very serious about our lawn care, right? So evidently it got too bad. I didn't even know that, first of all, that I won't the only one that won't pay attention to the yard. But I was like, God, you gave me this house. You blessed me to be able to come here. And there's no way that you're going to allow me to come here and not to have the resources that I need in order to be able to take care of what you gave me, right? Because I want to be a good steward of what you've given me. So y'all, I looked up different lawn cares and different experts and different things, right? So I had one guy come out and he was like, okay, he said, what kind of grass is this? So I'm sitting there like, aren't you the lawn specialist, right? So that was already an X for me. And he was trying to charge me like, I think he was trying to charge me like $100 and some for per application, right? Because he was like, we have to continue to do the application. But I'm like, you don't even know what kind of grass I got. So that was a red flag on the play. So when I called him out and said that he didn't know, the type of grass that I had, he was just like, it's not that I don't know the type of grass, but I'm like, you just asked me what kind of grass. I'm that type of person where I got to pay attention to you. You see what I'm saying? So then if you call a duck a spade or you say something else that is not a duck, it really is a duck. You know what I'm saying? So no, we ain't going to do that. And you're not going to play in my face, sir. Okay. Even though I'm connected to the Lord and I told y'all this, I'm connected to the Lord, but the Lord ain't through with me yet. Okay. He is not through with me yet. So I gave the man a piece a piece of peace. Like I really did give him a piece. I didn't yell at him. I didn't cuss him out. I didn't do any of that, right? Y'all would be so proud of your girl, okay? But I did let him know, right, that you don't need to be playing in my face. Okay. Thank you. And respectfully, I decline your services and I'm gonna move forward with somebody else. And I even gave him a review because he got here late. But anyway, that was that's neither here nor there. I will Google people, and the older I get, I realize that those Google reviews come in handy. But anyway, keep the story going, right? So anyway, I end up finding an actual expert to come out. God bless his soul, man. Mr. Lewis, okay? Mr. Lewis came out and he's an older man. He'd been doing lawn care, right? He's been doing lawn care for almost 40 years. Older man. But he's so good at what he does, and he works for Xperia Green. So I'm like, okay, shout out Xperia Green. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. They real good here, especially in the Charlotte area. They're really good here. I don't know where else they at, but listen, Charlotte area, they gonna get you right, okay? And especially Mr. Lewis. So Mr. Lewis came out here, and as soon as he came and touched the grass, honey, that man said, "Oh my gosh, you have Bermuda grass." He was like, "So you can easily get the crab. It was some crab tree grass, like you could get the crab tree weeds or something like that inside, and that's what this looks like because it begins to turn yellow and it can turn brown, and next thing you know, it can contaminate the other parts and spots and spaces in your yard. And what I didn't know, right? Because I was thinking that it was just seasonal. Like this is not something that I need to continue, right? I don't need to continue lawn care throughout the whole year. And what I didn't realize in that time frame, because I have Bermuda grass, is that with Bermuda grass is pretty decent in the winter times, but in the summertime, spring times, right? Whenever the winter begins to kind of like die out and that season begins to end, the signs of the grass, right, for me is that it begins to try to be green. You start seeing little pecks of green, right, in there. So I would begin to see where I had the other guy who was cheaper at the time, right, to be able to do the grass for me. They put seeds in certain spots. So I noticed it. And he noticed it. And he was like, "Hey, we can fix that," right? He was like, "I have someone who's going to come out and do some aeration. Don't ask me what aeration is because I can't tell you what that is. I can't tell you what it is, but I know it's a lot of different digging and then putting down, right?" So they had to pick up, uproot, right? Take some things up out, but then even him taking some of those things out, right? It was necessary for water. I needed water to help make the lawn, right, look better. And he was like, I was like, "But I'm not trying to spend all this money on this water bill because my water bill is light," right? And he was like, "Well, no, you don't have to do all that. It's like all I need you to do is spray it at least for 5 to 10 minutes and cut it off. Once I put this application down, if you do that, I promise you it's gonna work out." Y'all, listen, I wish I could take y'all outside to see my grass right now. But listen, God is so good because this man who had been doing this for 40 years, right? He said, "I've seen all of the grasses that I've seen." Okay. He said, "I'm gonna tell you something, Miss Miller." He was like, "You got a lot of different weeds in here that also attract ants." And I'm sitting here like, "Oh my God." So you mean to tell me that if I did not do what I needed to do in the season before, how the girl, listen, I could shout just thinking about it, right? If I didn't do the things that I needed to do in that last season, okay? So you would have had, not only would I would have had all of these different ant holes, right, inside of my yard in the front, but I also would have had other little like the little bees nest, y'all, growing in the ground. Because he said the different things that you have with these weeds, they attract bees, they attract ants. And I said, "Wow." He was like, "Because the thing is, we don't get a lot of rain. We don't get a whole lot of rain, right? So that's why you got to make sure that you're putting the water down. Because when you put the water down, the ants are not going to want to be in your yard." And I said, "Oh, okay." So, y'all, when I tell you that thing hit me in my shanana, because I thought about how God is with us, right? And how we have to be great stewards of what it is that God wants us, what He wants us to do. And God is the one who's literally been on this earth just as long. He's the one who's created the earth. He knows our ins and outs. He knows exactly what we need in our season. Y'all, sometimes we just got to be like the grass. Listen, I was like, God, I'm out of grass. God was like, yeah, you the grass. So if you take care of your grass and the grass turning green, you're gonna be good too. And y'all, when I looked at my grass today, that thing made me feel so good. And I started almost crying, right? Because I could think about all of the different signs. Because what God was letting me know in that moment is that because of the seasons changing, baby girl, does not mean that I'm not here with you through every single step of the way. God says, I'm with you every single season that you're going through, whether or not if it's good, bad, ugly, it doesn't matter. Just like that grass, honey, okay, that you weren't taking care of, okay? God says, I brought life back into that. I put the right people in your path. The first one won't right, but the second one, because you knew that this man had been doing it for 40 years and this man took his time, y'all. Okay. He looked, and as soon as he touched the grass in the soil, honey, it was like he knew exactly what kind of grass it was. And that's exactly the way that God is with us. As soon as He just sees that we are being intentional with spending time with Him, He reminds us, and He reminds us that we are His. Like we were His before He was ours. He chose us for such a time as this. Like, y'all, we got to be intentional with our time. We got to be intentional in our seasons. And it's okay if people walk away from you. It's okay for you to feel some type of way when people treat you some kind of way, but that's okay. It's preparing you, baby girl. It's preparing you. It's preparing you for your next season. It's preparing you, King, for your next season. Don't allow people to come into your life and discourage you from what it is that you know that God has put on the inside of you. God has a great work that He's doing inside of you. And you have all of the tools that you need. Y'all, hello, I'm talking to myself when I'm talking to you. God has put it in us. Greater is He that is within us than this world, than the things that are around us, than these seasons that keep changing. Like, listen, God has something great for us. He wants to do something in us, in our lives. And in order for us to really reach our full potential, right, to become that green grass, sometimes, y'all, even though we don't want to get our hands dirty, but listen, we ain't got to get our hands dirty. God says, I'm right here. You ain't even got to get your hands dirty. All you got to do is call on me, and I will show you, and I will put people in your path to get this thing done. Girl, yes, this is a whole lesson, sis, a whole lesson. Because that thing, it blessed me in such a way. And I was just so thankful because I said, God, I see you. God, I hear you. And y'all, I literally, again, I had to reach out to other people this week because I was like, God, I don't know why these people are on my heart, right? And God was like, I need for you to send them a text message. I came up with this text message and I said, woo, 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 woo. And I just started going, right? And I started talking about the season. I started thinking. And it was like, God was like, let them know that I don't want them to go ahead of me. You know, because listen, I told you it has to hit me first and then it hits others, right? God says, I don't want you to go ahead of me. I need for you to understand that you're arriving right on time. Everything that I said pertaining to you is going to happen. It's going to happen. I don't need you to think about how you feel. Yeah, some of us tired, some of us exhausted, some of us just over it at this point. And that's fine. That's fine. And even your feelings probably even valid for why you feel the way that you feel. And that's okay. But the truth of the matter is, right? It won't always be like that. You won't always be tired. You won't always be exhausted. It's a time and a place for everything. But understand that it all serves a purpose. It all serves a purpose, even if it's meant for you to go and share it with somebody else. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. The seasons may change, but God is constant. He doesn't change. He's been the same God, and the same God that did it for Abraham, the same God who did it for Joseph, The same God who did it for Moses, who did it for Joshua, who did it who did it for Adam and Eve, the same God that did it for the lady at the well, the same God that did it with the lady with the issue of blood, the same God who used the spit and put it on the man's eyes. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. That stuff still works. The faith in God still works. It still works. But are you doing what you're supposed to do in this season? Are you taking advantage of your season? Are you taking advantage to say, you know what, even though I'm going through this, even though this don't feel right, God, I still want to do what it is that you telling me to do, what thus said the Lord. I still want to do it. God, you got it. My hands is lifted high. I'm just done. You got it. You win. I'm going to let you have it. I can't do it. Because sometimes that's all God wants to hear. God wants to hear you say, I give up. I give up. I give in. God, it's yours. I can't do nothing about it. I want to stop overthinking. I want to stop trying to figure it out. Lord, let the story just continue the way that it needs to continue. I just want to stay connected to you because you're the source. I'm just a resource. I'm not the source. I come from you. I'm a resource. Yeah. You building me up. You're giving me character. You're building my character, right? I don't always get it right. I don't always get it right. But I'm going to tell you something. If the Lord tells me to go and pray for somebody, you know what, Toya doing? Toya praying for somebody. I may not go outside as much, but when I do go outside, I'm allowing God to use me in different ways. I ain't never had prayer at the pump. Y'all know I had prayer at the pump. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. When God calls you, it don't matter where you at. Even when it's not the best time, because I'm like, God, this ain't the best time for me to be going over here talking to these people, but I know I got to go over here talk to these people. And I'm thankful when I do it because sometimes, y'all, I don't even be remembering what I tell these people. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes God just be like, go over there and just start a conversation with her because she got a lot on her chest. She just needs somebody to talk to. Literally, go over there and talk to her. And I'm like, okay. And I just thought, I say something, and next thing you know, she's just start talking. And I said, wow. Because God is like, what you wowing for? I told you that was going to happen. See, this is the thing, y'all. Do we trust God? We say we trust him, but do we? Do we really trust him? But anyways, y'all, I wanted to get on here, man, on tonight just to encourage somebody on today, man, to be reminded on today. The seasons do change, but God doesn't. And because God doesn't, we got an advantage. God is our advantage, okay? That's because he knows all. He sees all. And we got to trust him. Next week, y'all, we're going to talk about this trust in God thing, okay? We're going to talk about trusting God. Last week, we talked about staying rooted. This week, we talked about the seasons changing. I'm excited. Y'all, you want more from God. You want the things that it is that you haven't even obtained yet, the promises that God has for you. God is still promising, you know, for you to do the things that it is that he needs for you to do. And I'm not telling you that you won't reap a harvest. If anything, the harvest is God. The harvest is, yes, you will come into heaven. This is your problem. This is the thing. If you live right, you do the things that I called you to do, and you make an impact, and you allow people to see Jesus through you, right? You die, your flesh dies, but you're allowing him in. You're allowing him and his light to shine. It ain't your light. Listen, it ain't your light. You be like, dang, I'm out here just shining. I'm glowing. I'm doing all. No, it ain't your light. It's God's light. Oh, you think, oh, people say, oh, I'm so strong. You such a strong woman. You such a strong man. It ain't your strength. That's God's strength. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. The seasons, man, the seasons. And even though we're going through these seasons where we are weak, man, God says, in your vulnerabilities, let me be vulnerable with me. Talk to me. I talk back. I may not talk to you right then and there in that moment, but just get it out. Let it out. And God will place people in your path too, so you can let it out. There's plenty of therapists out here that want to talk to us. Y'all. And some therapists actually do certain things for free. Like, it's literally mental health counselors that it literally want to speak to you, that want to just listen to you. And some of us don't have friends, and I get that too. So I get that too, right? Maybe you got friends that you can talk to, maybe you don't. God says, I'm right here with open arms, willing and waiting for you to talk to me. Just talk to me. Share with me your day. Even though I know the story, even though I know how the story ends, I still want to entertain it. I still want to be here with you. I still want you to know that just because you're going through this and this just may be a chapter, because he sees the rest of the pages. I don't know about you, but listen, I'm trusting the author of my book, honey. I'm trusting the author of my book, and I'm gonna just let him just have his way, because I don't want this. I don't want no parts. I don't want. I'm tired of choosing wrong. I'm tired of doing the wrong things. You see what I'm saying? But sometimes, even when I do the wrong things, I know that it's my flesh, and my flesh is like, "Girl, you know you want to do that," but then my spirit is like, "Now you know better than that." You see what I'm saying? It's all growing. It's all working together though for the good. Because if I didn't have things that I went through, I would think that I'm the only one, especially if I didn't have this podcast. Like y'all encourage me being on here. Y'all encourage me. And so I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful for the podcast. I'm thankful for what it is that God is doing through each and every single one of us. I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much, man. If this has blessed you, please share it on your social media pages. And I thank y'all for those of you who have subscribed already. I thank you. I pray that each and every single one of you enjoy your weekend. I'm excited about, all of the things, man. And this is just the beginning, man. Embrace the season. Stay strong, and just know that, again, where you are weak, he is strong. Like, it's this is not your own strength that you're leaning on. And just know that there's hope and God still remains the same. Okay. So I love y'all. I just, this is what we got to do right at the Glow Up Is, man. We grow to glow. We take the mask off. We get uncomfortable, but we take the word, we take it, and we try to apply it to our lives. And try to allow that light to shine that lives within us. I love y'all again. I'll see y'all soon. See y'all next week. Bye.